Hello, everyone. I'm back again. You thought you got rid of me. Anyhow, today I just wanted to think with you what makes you tired? And that's a big question. What makes you tired? And it's different for all of us, but especially for those of us who are in wheelchairs, we have our little spots and where if we do XYZ, or if this happens, we get really exhausted. So, and then we just want to crawl into bed. So it's an important question for all of us. I think, is it medications? Is it if you do a lot of activity, you're in constant activity, and then by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you are wiped out? Is it you do a big activity and then you try to do a couple other activities and then you're totally wiped out? Your cup is just completely full and you can't make another roll. So, are you in pain? And that's a big one. Are you in pain? Because a lot of us don't want to fess up to the pain we're in, and then we go to bed and we can't sleep because either our the pain is so intense that from the day that we just can't sleep. And you'll see me with my little tea here to keep myself going with a little caffeine. But I can't say that this or that makes you completely tired. I can't tell you don't do this or don't do that because your body is different than mine. I can say, for myself, the things that I've learned that will wipe me out and that are become problematic. So, when my doctor sees me going downhill and I'm crabby and I just look wiped out, she'll ask me about my pain because that's usually one of the first ones, or cramping in my legs, which is pretty high sometimes. So pain levels are important to fess up to. And sometimes we don't want to. We want to be brave. We want to be strong. And that's okay, but it comes to a limit where you can't sleep then, or during the day you're just dragging yourself. It becomes a problem. I know that if I do one big activity during the day and then I keep on going, I'm going to wipe myself out. So I really have to measure my movements and what I do during the day so that I survive. I can do videos and then I might do, something else, clean up my room a little bit, or go help somebody out, with electronics or whatever. But then I stop. Then I slow down because I know that's gonna take away some energy levels. So one of the things that I know that tires me out is some of my medications, and it's kind of on purpose, but not. So some of the medication is to slow me down, and some of the medication um, is to keep the pain away, so I don't get exhausted. So it's a push and pull. It's a balance that you have to find in terms of where do you conserve energy? How can you conserve, and get to the next thing? And that is something that you have to really reflect on your body, how it's working, what is not working. When you take XYZ medication, or my pain level is pretty high and I gotta fess up, or I can't sleep at night because XYZ is happening. Um, I have a lot of pain and I could not sleep in regular beds. I just could not. I would just lie down and I would have all these pillows everywhere, but still I would be in so much pain when I would wake up. And we tried a couple of different things. Then I ended up sleeping in my recliner, my faithful recliner, and then that was causing pain. So I thought, well, the next thing is the floor because I didn't know where else to go. So, I talked to the nurses and they said, oh, okay, we get that. So you saw the story of my bed, and it's right over there. It has a special mattress, and the railings on there are not to say, oh, look, Lisa has a medical bed. No, those railings have an important function because that's how I get up. I wouldn't be able to get up, just by myself. So I hold on to the rails, and I'm able to turn over and get up and sit on the edge of the bed until I figure out and use my walker to get into the bathroom. So what are the things that work for you? Have you spent a few moments to think, okay, what are the things that really wipe me out, that really drain me? Am I sleeping? Sleep is really crucial for all of us. When someone says that I'm really tired, then I ask them, how are you sleeping? As a social worker, I always did that because sleep and food were the first things that I would tackle. So with people, and that's the other question, how are you eating? Are you eating enough? Are you eating the right foods? Now, right foods depends on everybody, depends on if you have stomach issues, which I do. So there are certain things I can't eat, but I can eat some others. So I really have to measure out, what am I eating? What kind of, how much protein, how much vegetables, fruit am I doing that will help me get through the day? So those are all kinds of things that you have to figure out. So food and sleep, I would say, is the first one. Pain levels is crucial. Medications is another. I think all of us, most of us in wheelchairs, we take a lot of meds for a lot of different reasons. But what kind of medications, can you tolerate bringing them down? Or do you need to go up? Because I needed to go up for nighttime. I was just waking up with pain and waking up with cramps and waking up again. And so I really didn't sleep. I was like waking up constantly. So the doctor saw that I was getting wiped out. So sometimes your doctor can help you look at, what is draining you. Sometimes it's a matter for you to sit and think, what kinds of things where do you feel exhausted, and what kind of things do you need to change? So, there are some things that we can do to save energy, such as pre-cook, some meals and make a big amount and then cut it up in smaller amounts, put it in the freezer, and then you just take out, so you don't have to spend time cooking, washing dishes, all that kind of stuff. There are, space out what you need to do. Like today you can do XYZ project, and then tomorrow you don't need to do everything all day long. So, space out your activities. So, and what you need to do. Some of us work, so you can't, change that. But at least, when you get home, see if you can arrange it in a way that you can lie down for at least 15 minutes and then get up and interact with whoever or just with yourself. So, but if you don't work, you're home. Sorry, I gotta change my position here. If you can space out your activities and pick and choose what you're going to do that day, might help with your energy. If you have other changes of life, that might be disrupting. When we get stressed and tense, we tense up, and that can, drain us of needed energy. Um, so I'm looking at my notes here. So, if it's constant activity and you're constantly in activity because you feel like you need to, that would not be true. You can plan things out, and the world won't come to an end if something doesn't get done. What things do you need to absolutely do today because it's tied to the calendar or tied to an expectation, and what can wait for tomorrow? If you're home, can you take a little kitty nap for half an hour? And if you fall asleep, that's okay too. I absolutely have to rest in the afternoon because if not, I do not survive the whole day. I just don't. I get pretty crabby and not fun to be with. So yesterday was a different day. I have a student I supervise, and I asked her, could we meet Friday instead of today? And she said, absolutely, I hope you feel better. And we moved on. I lied down for maybe 10 minutes, and therapy came in, and then maintenance came in, then forget it. Rest just didn't happen. So I went to go get some tea, and I sat in my recliner for a little bit so I could just rest physically so I could have a little bit more energy. But to do my nap like I usually do, forget it, didn't happen. So that is our homework for all of us to think what kind of things can we do to preserve that energy and have the right energy for the right things, for the right people. I don't know about the wrong people, but 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 truly, being able to function, being able um, to enjoy life, a little bit more, a little bit better. I know at night, now that my doctor increased my medications, I'm sleeping very well at night. Once in a while, I'll have an off night where I'm just, with a little bit more pain. And, I'll get up and change position or get in my recliner, watch the TV for a little bit, wait until it calms down a bit, and then I'll transfer back over to my bed. But it's those kind of things that I need to be aware of and say, yeah, doc, I do have a lot of pain at night. And the doctor said, well, are you ready for me to increase your medication? I said, I'm not happy about it, but if I don't, I'm not going to be able to function during the day. So she increased it, and I'm sleeping better. And that's the good thing. We have to be willing to make changes in our lives to have the energy that we want. So sometimes that requires some sacrifices. But other times we can pre-do things like pre-do some meals. We can wash fewer clothes, maybe wash twice a week rather than once a week, so that it's not as huge of a load and it doesn't take that much time from our calendar, and we're done quicker. So, in my case, once in a while I'm going to have to wash my clothes. I have somebody who does them now, but that absolutely wipes me out. So the plan is, if the days I have to wash my clothes, that I do just half, and then another day I finish doing the rest of my laundry, so that it's not just this humongous wipeout, when I do my laundry. So it's that kind of planning that for each of us has to happen. If we want, if we want. Some people like to be really tired in the evening so that they know they're going to sleep that night. Some people like to do that. So it's just, it's personality, but it can be a desperation for others. Like, how do I fix this? How do I do it differently? So doing smaller tasks, doing only those that are tied to the calendar that absolutely have to be done that day. And then you can do a little bit more or do other tasks the following day or the next week, the following week. It's not urgent. So you want to take off your calendar what is not urgent and what might be a little bit more urgent. So an urgency measurement for you. So figure out what needs to be done and what can be left for another day. And then food, which is really important for you to consider. Okay, what am I eating? Lower my starches, increase my vegetables and fruits and my protein. So, all those kind of things that the doctors are always telling us to do. And my digestion is really messed up, so I have to figure things out. How am I going to balance one thing and the other so my body functions? So can you do that? Can we do that? Are you willing to look at your pain levels, your sleep habits, your menus, what you're cooking, cook some things, cook a big meal, and then, parcel it out. Do only half of your laundry one day and do the other half another day. Are you able to say no to some people, to do a whole bunch of things that day, to say no and say, I'll do these things and then I can leave the rest for tomorrow or next week? So can you do that? So that's the question. Are we willing? Can we do it? Are we able to do that? Or do we need somebody to help us to look at our calendar or to look at our activities, to look at our medications, to look at our meals and see where we need to create more balance for ourselves? So that's our homework. That is also my homework. And so I'm leaving that in your hands to reflect on what kind of things do you think you can change, that you want to change, that needs to be changed, and go ahead and try something new. And that's what scares us, I think, to do something new, to do something different. So let us all try that and see how it goes. All right, folks. Don't be afraid to look at one of my videos. If you're really tired, take a break, look at one of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.